before all of that, okay, fam? So I just had to get this off my chest. I have literally been holding this in for what feels like an entire day, and it feels like hell on wheels and then some, okay? So first and foremost, my husband has this daily regimen of going to McDonald's or sometimes even at the house. It just really depends on his mood and where he's at for that day. Like, I get it. So, we got up this morning. Nothing in particular planned. Nothing was going really accordingly. But at the end, we went to McDonald's like approximately at noon time. And basically around that time, um, we went through the drive-through. He ordered his stuff. I was already way too frustrated with this woman who was taking our order, as I had to repeat myself like 20 times in less than 5 minutes. So, of course, you know, doing things. Oops. My headband's coming off. Well, how about that, y'all? My headband's coming off. No, I'm just joking. Sarcasm. Well, anyways, so, um, so we had, basically gone there, or like around noon. And it was my understanding that there were going to be no kids. Everybody was going to be in school. School was not done until like 2 or 3 p.m. We straight. So we had that mentality, that good vibe. We had that good spirit this morning. And then, Lord and behold, this freaking woman, I swear, y'all, it's McNasty's. Who the hell can get a freaking order for coffee wrong? My gosh. So we went there. My husband's, he struggles with diabetes, okay? And so basically when I ordered his coffee, it has to have no sugar whatsoever. So it's like literally only cream, if anything at all. So it kind of sucks for him, sucks for me, because I know he loves his caramel and everything in between, man. And it kills me because I really do be wanting to get him the stuff that he wants, and I just truly cannot. And so, to sum things up, pretty much, we get there, we're parked at the freaking drive-thru. Like I said before, I had to explain myself like 20 freaking times to this woman, because either she was not bilingual or she was just all out dumb. I don't know what her story is, dude, and I ain't gonna sit here and spend no time trying to figure that mess out. Hold up, I'm trying to see if that was my daughter. No, it was not. Thank God for that. So I was already flustered and frustrated and everything in between. So I'm like, you know what? Nah. Mm-mm. So I didn't get nothing, to say the least. And at the end of everything, pretty much, we went through the drive-thru because he got 2 coffees today. They put us at, hey, go around and basically park. So everything was good and gravy. My husband, we are so immensely blessed, y'all. Like, on a random subject, for real, we are so truly blessed, because my husband and I are starting our independent business, small business. And so we were like, man, we just had to let go of 2 of our employees, or however you want to look at it, which is ironic because we're family. And so, where's Maki? Where's Ziki's? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so we let them go because of some habitual behaviors that we just weren't too savvy with, I guess, if that makes sense. So, we let them go, which was unfortunate, what have you. It was just a challenge within the small business alone. So anyways, so basically, we've been on this conquest, to find a vehicle, because that person, shortly after we let him go, he decided to depart from one of my in-laws, which was sad. Like, it's sad for, as her sister, like, who wants to witness their sister go through something like that? You know what I mean? As a sister, it made me really mad, because I'm like, well, what the hell, But he must have said something really out of line, really out of context, really wrong for him to even, be out of the picture just like that. Anyways, to sum things up, so all that jargon was going on, and so fast forward till today, we're like, my husband and I are like, well, we can talk to my family about helping us and supporting us and getting a trailer or whatever. And so it was cool. It was all good and gravy. And so, at some point I was like, if these things are truly 600, but his sister, like, hear me out, his other sister, the one that's more mature anyway. And so, she was like, oh, I can help y'all out. And I was like, wait, what? I was just mind blown by that because honestly, in the first place, it's unsung. Well, I come from a very sophisticated, educated family. They are incredibly narcissistic. So, I mean, you're not used to hearing and seeing things like that. So when you see it, it's like a complete 360. It shocks you. Anyways, long story short, so she was like, oh, I can help you all out financially. And then fast forward to today, like a few hours ago in the morning, well, his one sister was like, oh, I talked to my love, my partner, or whatever you want to call him, my spouse. And basically that individual, my brother-in-law basically agreed to give us this Armada. And I am so freaking stoked, y'all, because truly it only needs a battery and maybe a little bumper, but that's a big if because we don't even truly know the full gist of it. So I'm completely freaking excited about that. Like, y'all just don't even know. Y'all don't know. Me and my babies have been walking long enough. And let me tell y'all something. We fixed my husband's car, but, even after we fixed it, it's just like, dang, I picked the mess up from my kids and my husband, and it's like 2 seconds later, history just rewrites itself. But, that's a part of having a large family. So, unfortunately, the mess is what follows. But you know what else follows, as well as the mess? Immense blessings and successes and stories and things like that. So I'm always happy no matter the amount of mess that I gotta clean. It just simple as the fact that the kids were a blessing as a whole. So it truly was. It's been a journey, y'all. I will tell you, and I will do a complete separate vlog talking about family life, how it is to be a mom of 5 versus a mom of 1 or 2, the differences, how I think these women differentiate when it comes to opinions, how I think that they don't have the room to level up to a woman of 5 or more children, period. Like, we're not even on the same page here, like, at that point, really, for real. It's an ongoing challenge, and I acknowledge that, okay? Like, straight up, dude, that's just what it is. Let me put my glasses so I'm not blinding myself. So anyways, long story short, so my oldest sister-in-law was like, yeah, we'll give you the Armada. And I was like, my husband was like, hey, well, I can make payments on it if y'all are okay or happy with that. And I was like, yeah. And because then at the end of the day, we just got to register it and do the whole, business transaction. So when I say, y'all, well, let me, I got a couple of different things I want to bring up. First of all, there's the spiritual aspect of this. If you have a person around you who is chronically angry, chronically anxious, chronically stressing out, possibly even has OCD, or who has an addiction, these are all things that draw in negative energy, all things that, bring in negativity. And those are the very things that you got to run away from. And I don't mean that in a mean way at all. Like, if they're down to, go in rehab, hit that recovery up, shoot, why not? I'm all for it. But, being real here, there's not very many that are like that. Honestly, there are not many with that mindset. And that's just, quite frankly, where the problem begins. But their stories are limitless. The things that they've faced in their life, the reason that has brought them to that point, and I know that God is going to bring them through that, and that when they come to their senses, they'll be like, holy crap, what have I done? But everything in good time. God lets his children come to him in their own time. God will never push somebody to run to him. It is those who are chosen, the chosen ones. Those are who, the ones who have endured the most pain, the ones who have suffered the most. Those are his chosen children. So beware and watch out. And so, long story short, so we got the Armada. We're gonna go tomorrow morning, like I think at 9 or so, and talk to my brother-in-law before he goes to work. Talk to my sister-in-law as well. Do that business transaction. See if they want us to, do payments, or if they're all just down for the shebang, and they're like all full on in on this process of us like being successful. Also, another thing that's absolutely amazing, my husband and I are planning to do real estate school. And after we graduate that 12-month program, I'm really, really hoping to do my own real estate appraisals, home inspections. I even want to host little independent events to where if you need a home, I'm going to post up a banner in a booth and, hey, come and talk to me. I can help y'all get that home for you, depending on the square feet that you want, how many rooms, blah, 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 blah. It is up to, the laws, and of course, all in due time and with lots of praying. But my husband and I came to the agreement that we need to level up a bit. So we are definitely planning on doing real estate school. We are definitely planning on continuing our small business. I think it's just unfortunate that some of these things have happened, but everything happens for a reason. And sometimes people are just not written your story for a reason. Like in my personal experience, I have gone on and on and on and on and off, struggling with my family because of the narcissism. Excuse me, give me a minute. But no, Bella. But so long story short, guys, people on a spiritual level, people don't even know, like, people who are addicted to drinking, smoking, or they're just depressed chronically and are bipolar. I don't know. I just really feel like so many of us fit that scope, or who have OCD or PSTD. PSTD is a very real thing, and it cannot be disrespected, because almost the majority of those who suffer from PSTD are troops, people who have been ex-officers, ex-Marines, military, etc. So that is not to be disregarded, but to be used as a tool in order to heal oneself, period. So what else? So, one thing I've come to know on a spiritual level is, like, you have to really concretely be very careful with whom you allow in your circle, because their intentions may not always be good. Like, I got to the bottom line of why those individuals were, like, involved at all, but, it put me in a place of understanding, and I'm like, oh, all right. And I kind of see what the real intentions were, and I have an issue with that. So, I'm not stupid. And when I do, and if I get to the bottom of it, you better watch out, because I'm the one that will speak up and voice it and make it happen. So, anyways, so at the conclusion of everything, we're getting an Armada tomorrow. Let me see what else. Our business is going to take off. I already have a good handful of clients, both who are blood family, and those of whom are like my sister's family members from out of state, and well, really across America. You need to wait. And so that's just what it is. And so I'm actually really looking forward to that, because as soon as we start the car wash up, and if we can do it and we're successful even long before this other company calls them, oh, we'll make that happen. We will definitely make it happen. Anyways, long story short, let me see here. A couple of things. So number one, spiritually, you need to be very careful with whom you let in your inner circle, because those people can either bring you blessings on top of blessings, or they can curse you and bring negative energy and have evil, dark intentions. And that is the extreme opposite of what we need. And not just me and my husband, but people just in general. So I just caution everybody to really watch who you let into your inner circle, um, on a spiritual level, because people have 50 billion different intentions, and whether they choose to conscientiously, voice it to you, it's only in their palms, okay? But guess what? God hears and sees conversations that we don't even hear, but He knows what happened. He knows what they're planning, and He will get rid of them for you if that is in God's works and plans, period. And so, man, I can go on and on and on for hours, but this is not the place and it's not going to be the time. So, sorry about that. And so just be very cautious with basically, and it doesn't matter if they are blood related to you, family, or a stranger or a friend. You could know these people for 20 plus years and it makes zero difference. If they have evil, dark intentions, they're going to be there and they're going to stay there. Um, just be mindful of who you allow in your inner circle. Constantly pray about it. If you feel like you're misguided, I get that it's scary. We're living in peril times right now. And so it's so imperative where we rally as one nation, one community, and one people, and we stand united no matter our differences, period. And I'm not going to go back on that. I'm standing firm on it. And I'm also standing firm on my faith. I'm staying planted in the ground, period. And so that's just that. And so another thing is, when it comes to family, I understand how immensely difficult it is to, put them out of your life. But you know what? Here's the thing. If you pray about it, God will automatically do that for you. And you literally will have to not do anything but sit back and watch who He removes from your life. So a lot of y'all are against that. And here's the other top question that I've seen today. Why does God allow suffering of children with cancer or any major diseases? First of all, it is not God Himself. God gives everybody the free will to eat, drink, and consume the things of their wishes. Now, there's, I don't know how many different diets throughout the world. There's different things you got to drink and eat. But depending on your personal preferences, that can greatly, impact that. There is also a scriptural biblical diet. It consists of Ezekiel bread, lentil beans, and I believe lima beans, and just plain water, I believe, actually. And, it talks about blessing your food before consuming it, because these are still things of the world, and you just don't want the sin of the people who, bared them up for you. And so there's that aspect of it. And that's just where it's at, y'all. It's time to be very critical of who you allow in your life. And that's just it. Trust and believe. My husband and I are not giving up on our car wash. We are not going to give into the enemy's plans. And I rebuke any evil works that were formed against my husband and me, period. Even if they are family members, even if they're friends, co-workers, whatever. I don't care. Every evil deed that was formed against us shall not prosper. In Jesus' name, amen. Anyways, long story short, that's just what it is. And I am going to let you lovely people go. Love you, fam.